Well, hello everybody, back again. It's your old pal Nate Dad. So, I put a vlog out the other day and asked people what they wanted to hear me talk about or what they needed some advice on or whatever you want to call it. And a friend of mine, a younger guy, mentioned jealousy as a topic. So, I'm going to dive into that a little bit. We're going to talk about jealousy today. So, I know it's probably not something that any of you ever struggle with, but it's something that I struggle with still day to day. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So for me, the first thing I like to do when I'm talking about a specific word is to look up its meaning, understand the definition, and then be able to work off of that as a basis. And so I looked it up in two different dictionaries to find out what exactly the dictionaries define them at. And what I found in both of them, at its root, there is always rivalry between one and another. So jealousy, or being jealous, always stems from one person towards another. And that can land on any number of things, whether it's an item or a success that they have or an advantage that is foreseen from one towards the other. You probably have experienced sibling rivalry at some point as well. Jealousy from treatment, special treatment. So, is being jealous in and of itself bad? No. If it's used to motivate you towards change, for positive or growth or action, anything that is going to better you, not so much at the sake of the other, but just in yourself, then it is a good thing. But 9 times out of 10, jealousy turns towards the other person, and then it dabbles with resentment and anger and envy. You see, it's always easier to point fingers and blame at others than it is to look inside at yourself. Many of you know this, but I'm a sports enthusiast. Not so much in the fact that I love to watch sports, which I do, but I love to play sports, and I love to play sports in a competitive way. And, we have a church sports league where we play soccer, football, and volleyball. And on numerous occasions, I've lost my cool and my head and had to apologize for my actions and my behaviors because I want to win and I want to compete. I say that only because it is easy for me now to look back and go, I was upset because we got beat. But the fact of the matter is that if I gave my all and I gave my best and things shook out the way they shook out, then the other team or the other people had a better game that day than I did. Well, I don't like that. And so I feel like there's an advantage or a success, or maybe there was a call that went their favor, and the reality of it is all I can do is better myself. Me being jealous of their victory doesn't benefit me at all. All it does is put a cancer inside of my heart where I get negative, I get upset, again, either that or I'm using it as a drive to go work out and focus and practice out in the yard and do whatever it takes to get my game better so that the next time I play, I'm in a better position to succeed. This past weekend, Lydia competed at divisionals. And while she cut time in every event, she only podiumed in one event. And so I asked her, overall, what do you think of the meet? And she's like, I'm happy, but I want to do better. And in conversation, I could tell she wanted to be faster. And she knew that the only way to do that was through practice and dedication. Jealousy at its core is self-centeredness. It's basically saying, I know better than God. It's saying, I deserve to have that too. I deserve to be there too. That person should be with me. Honestly, what it does is it removes God from being able to protect us from more than we are ready and able to handle. It removes God from being able to pour out His blessing and His perfect timing to give us that exact thing or even something better. And it says he has no right to bless others in a better or different way than me and the way I see fair. See, if you think about it, nobody's ever jealous of the guy who has less or does worse. He's only jealous of the guy who has more or does better. And the problem isn't so much that we want to be in that situation or have those things. It's whether or not we see them as the obstacle that is keeping us from those things. You know, hard work pays off every time. Putting in the effort pays off every time. But there's also a small little prayer that goes a long way. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, which is those other people. The courage to change the things that I can, which is myself. My abilities, my talents, my effort, my drive. I can change those things about me. And finally, and the wisdom to know the difference. You see, the biggest trick to fighting jealousy is recognizing that we should be content with where we're at and realize that right now where we're at is where we're supposed to be. Now, that doesn't mean we can't get better. It doesn't mean we can't get stronger. We can't get smarter. We can't work harder at whatever it is we want to achieve. But understand that where you're at right now is where you're supposed to be. That's the path that you're on. And what you do with it is up to you. Understand that you're not competing against other people. You're competing against yourself. Better yourself to put yourself in a better situation. Better yourself to have better things. Don't try and undermine and gossip about other people to knock them down so that you appear to be better. Work harder. Be better. One last thing. Your rival doesn't have to be your enemy. Actually, your rival shouldn't be your enemy. In NBA years ago, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson played hard against each other, and they respected the drive and the effort that they put into it. In football, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, tight rivalry, but they respected each other's dedication and commitment to the game and to the sport and to their craft. If you have a rival, the best thing you can do sometimes is to become their friend and just realize that you're pushing them as much as they are pushing you. There's no need to be jealous of the talents and the abilities that other humans have. Take it in stride. Learn from them. Figure out what they're doing and add it to your repertoire. That way you get stronger, you get smarter, you get better as well. We're competing against ourselves, not other people. There's no need to be jealous of other people's talents and abilities. God's gifted them with what they have, and He's gifted you with what you have. Be the best at who you are. So if you struggle with being jealous from time to time, relax, we all do. But if your measure of success is based on what someone else has or what someone else is doing or who someone else is dating, you're never going to find peace and contentment that is in the recognition that God has you exactly where He wants you to be. Have faith that He knows what He's doing. Have peace in the fact that your story is not yet written. And just wait. Patience is a virtue. It's not fun, but it's a virtue.